That's all I can say. Thank you, ladies. I don't even know what to call that group. We need a name. I call it uplifting. I call it no limits. I call it fantastic. Thank you for gifting us with incredible. Give them another hand. Amazing. All right, so I'm going to have a short talk because today is Palm Sunday and we do something special every Palm Sunday. So if you're here for the first time, you're in for something that's lovely. I think it's very lovely. So in this beautiful month of April, we do recognize the beauty of everything coming to bloom and budding, and the temperature's really great today. So we're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy it. And today, Palm Sunday, in our New Thought interpretation, we are being called to a sacred connection, or said another way, into a connection with the sacred. And so today we do that by first looking at an amazing occurrence appearing in Exodus, in the Bible, chapter 3. It's when young Moses, while shepherding the sheep, comes upon a bush that is burning, but is not being consumed. As he steps closer to examine it, the voice of God says, "Do not come near. Take your shoes off your feet, for the place on which you stand is holy ground." This is a turning point in biblical history. It is the time when Moses received the call from God, the God of his being, to make the sacred connection, to connect with that sacred divinity. And in that connection, to be who he came here to be and to do what he came here to do. And he came here to be a great leader and to free the Israelites from slavery. It is in this moment that Moses lived his divine purpose. He lived his divine purpose. You want to remember that. Not without some kicking and some screaming going on. So, divine purpose, very important to remember, but live it, he does. In our New Thought tradition, we believe that the Bible is written on many levels and layers. Well, there's also so many Bibles, it depends on which one that you read. So, for me, the Bible is more of a metaphor or a parable. There's some really great stories when taken metaphysically from the Bible that can make a difference in our spirituality. And so whatever tradition you're from, we honor it all. We do. We honor it all, as long as it's based in love. So while at this historic level, this incident is about Moses making that sacred connection at a deeper level. It is about our making our own sacred connection. And at this point, to hear the divine call to that which we are meant to be, and to have that burning, like the burning bush, to have that burning within us. And it's okay if you don't feel it yet, or if you haven't felt it. It's there. That burning desire is spirit expressing itself, and it feels like something out of body, really. It's the burning flame of the great I am, the great I am. And so wherever we stand, it is sacred, it is revered. Wherever we are standing on holy ground. Right now, you are standing on holy ground. It's something to remember. Bishop John Shelby Spong, in his book entitled A New Christianity for a New World, talks about the change of looking at God from a theistic external being to experiencing God as, to use his words, the ground of all being. And in his book, he writes this. This is a bishop. Can we not begin to envision a transcendence that enters our life and also calls us beyond the limits of our humanity toward the ground of all being, including our own? Can we cease the groveling to a supernatural being to parent us, to take care of us, to watch over us, and to protect us? Can we reject those patterns of our past and open ourselves in new ways to discover the ground of being that is met and known in the self as expanded consciousness? We talk about everything being consciousness, and that's truly what we are. We are consciousness in expression. That consciousness needs these physical forms to experience life in. But we are consciousness. We are beyond definition. The true essence of who we are, it's beyond human definition. Because we're all extensions, creations of the one life, of the eternal energy, the divine flame of God itself. And Ernest Holmes couldn't have asked better questions than Spong did right there. And today we are being called to stand on sacred ground, holy ground, the powerful place of beingness, to be, to absolutely be and know that I am one with all that is. Firmly knowing that we meet God at the core of our being. There is no separation. You heard our ceremony. We believe in a unity. We believe in a oneness. We do not believe in separation. That is where the fear and the doubt and the worry come in that separation. When we forget, and we do, because we're having a human experience, we forget that we are one with that which is all, knows all. There is no worry in God. There's only love. There's only love. Spong also wrote this: God is the ground of all being, who is worshipped when we have the courage to be. So I'm going to listen to that again. It is our message for this morning. God is the ground of all being, who is worshipped when we have the courage to be. And Holmes once said this simple but powerful, yet profoundly powerful thing: I am. What more can I say? I am is enough. So right now I'm going to have you repeat after me, and if you like your power pose, which is this, which is something that is fabulously welcoming the good. I am standing on the holy ground of being.
I am standing on the holy ground of being.
I am, and that is more than enough.
I am, and that is more than enough.
That's true. All right. That's truth spoken right there. More than enough. Not am I enough. You are more than enough. Today is recognized as Palm Sunday, the day that Jesus decided to stand on the holy ground of being and to have the courage to be. He knew that riding into Jerusalem was going to make those with the power very, very unhappy. He was basically teaching new thought. He was empowering people, so it made those in power a little nervous. You don't give the power to the people, do you? No. What happens? Why would he want to waltz into Jerusalem? Why would he want to do that when he knew that the Pharisees and the Sadducees were not happy with him? When he knew that death to his physical body awaited him? He made that decision because he had more work to do. He wasn't finished yet. He was young. He had more work to do, and he needed it to be done there. When we read the story of Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, we can detect that Jesus had a definite purpose and a conviction about that purpose. In his triumphant entry, he rode into the city with great authority, being hailed as a king by all those around him. And to show him honor and respect, the people made a path for him out of palm branches, which had long been a symbol of victory. And the masses were placing palm branches before him. And so this story is now, in this time of day, we're going to jump from 2,000 something years ago. It was Palm Sunday in modern times. And a family's 6-year-old son had to stay home from church because he had strep throat. When the rest of the family returned home carrying palm branches, the little boy asked what they were for, and his mother explained. People put them on the ground as Jesus came by. Wouldn't you know it, the boy fumed. The one Sunday I don't go to church and Jesus shows up. Do you suppose that Jesus his ride into Jerusalem was easy? Although he rode into the city with great authority, being hailed as a king by those around him, having people make a path for him out of the palm leaves, it must have taken a good deal of courage, a great deal of courage, of internal strength to be able to do that, because he knew what lay ahead of him. Likewise, it took courage and strength for Moses to become the one who would free the Israelites from the tyranny of the Egyptians. Both of these stories illustrate to us the idea of standing on our ground of being and having the courage to be who we are, who we truly are. To really get in touch with who we truly are. That's what all the spirituality is about. It's about uncovering all the layers that we've stuck onto ourselves, we've covered ourselves up with. It's about removing them and starting to really understand that we are children of light. We are love itself. We are eternal. We are eternal. We come in with this beautiful light and we leave with this beautiful light. We occupy these bodies for a few years. That's what we do. But we are radiant lights. That's who we are. So this morning, our invitation is simple. Do you have the courage to be your truth? There is a great line delivered in the movie The Manchurian Candidate, where it said, beyond what has been planted in us is the truth. We have to find that truth. It is the only thing that will save us. It's the only thing that will save us. Do you have the courage to be your truth?
Yes.
Do you have the courage to bring your gifts into the world and live a life on purpose?
Yes.
Do you have the courage to be love and to be that love when there is fear all around you?
Yes.
Right now is the perfect time to practice that, by the way, folks. If you did not notice, it is the perfect time to practice that. Because what's the option? Do you want to live a life in fear? Doesn't mean we ignore things, doesn't mean we don't take action, but it means that internally we are spiritual beings and we are made out of love. That is the truth. Do you have the courage to be peace when discord seems to be the prevailing energy?
Yes.
And do you have the courage to be abundant when all around you, all the people around you are bemoaning lack?
Yes.
Do you have the courage to be health when disease seems to have attacked your body?
Yes.
Do you have the courage to recognize that wherever you stand, you are standing on holy ground?
Yes.
Good. Glad to hear that. A lot of courageous people here.
Yes.
Now when you leave this room, make sure you practice it.
Yes.
That's our task, and that's what we do. Practical spirituality, you take out into the world and use. We are charged with those things this beautiful Palm Sunday morning as we remember God's words to Moses. Take the shoes off your feet, for the place on which you stand is holy ground. And right now I would like to anchor our realization of holy ground and where we stand by extending a blessing of love to each and every person here, because we are blessed and honored by your presence, by everyone's presence. And we'd like to honor you with our rose ceremony blessing.